It's just more of facilitating you to think of what are the solutions to managing your time. Okay, so we're not going to lecture you on anything on time management, but we're going to trigger some discussions on time management, which hopefully you would find your own solutions, yeah, together. So there are a couple of exercises or a couple of tools which we've designed only last night. So this is also very experimental, so you will tell us later whether it's useful or not, yeah? So the first thing that we will do individually, each one of you, is that we're going to do a self-diagnosis of your own time management practice. I'm sure most of you haven't done that. So it's about, you might have some idea, but you don't have a real accurate diagnosis of what is your time management practice like, right? So to do this, we have developed a tool. This tool was designed based on a particular instrument which we took from Stanford, but we adjusted for the context of lecturer here in the Faculty of Medicine, and you're going to be the first one to test it just to see whether it's useful or not. So the tool is an Excel sheet, and I will just show you what it looked like. Here, what we did is that this tool, we email it to you, and you can download it. Laras is going to help you if you cannot do it. So you open it in your Excel, and this is just an example. And here you see for teaching, it's been breaking down into how many hours per week you do for lecture, for tutorial, skills lab, practical. For research, how much you do for proposal development, study conduct, writing report, writing manuscript. Services, how much you do for clinical services, for community services, administrative services. Other works, how much time you conduct for meetings, for committees, training, workshop. And other job, because some of us have, for example, private clinical practice, or some of you might have private business. You might have a shop or something, we don't know. Or other things, moonlighting somewhere, we don't know. So if you fill this up, this is just a hypothetical one. Huh? So this hypothetical one shows that this guy, whoever that is, he only spent 10% of his time teaching, 10% for research, 10% for service, and this is for other work. This is in terms of professional. But if you look at it a bit more comprehensively, you go down and you also take a look at the personal activities, then it shifts a bit more. Spends a lot of time on Facebook, on email, on texting, instant messaging, a little on exercise, only 2 hours per week. And so you get an idea of how it looked like total, which is 168 hours per week. Yeah. So here, gaming also there. 7 hours of gaming. That's one hour per day of gaming online. Okay. So there you have an idea of what you actually do in 168 hours per week. Do you get the idea? Yeah? So what we would like you to do is in the next, say, 15 minutes or so, just play around with this tool, plug in your numbers, and see where you are. How is your pattern in terms of time allocation, be it professionally or total, including your personal time. So we have an idea of where you are. Okay? So this is individually. Do it yourself on your laptop. Try in the next 15 minutes and just see where you are in terms of this. Now, there are actually 2 columns, but just fill in the first column. This is for the current one, and this is for the target, the ideal one, meaning now that you know where you are, what is your target? How do you want to move forward, okay? But you don't have to do it now. You just do it for the current one. It's enough, okay? Is that clear? Okay. So if you have trouble with the file, tell Mbak Laras, and she will come to you and give you on flash disk or something. Okay? So play around with it for 15 minutes. Just go to your laptop and start doing it. Yeah, it's on your email. Okay, if not, then she will copy it on the flash disk. So just raise your hand if you don't have it, and Mbak Laras will give it to you, okay?
And I read my email.
Play around with it. Just make sure the total is always 168 because that fits 1 week. 7 times 24. Because it's not an accurate exercise, let's give you an idea. Everybody has the file now? Yes. So another 10 minutes, just play around with it and see where you are. If you cannot find the category, put it in the other teaching activities. For example, if you do bedside teaching or grand rounds, put it on the other teaching activities. Because it's been spreading through
I don't get it also. Delivery, preparing marking exams, something
very important.
4 hours per week. Ajar skill. Ajar teori. Sambil mengajar itu kayak
Isinya di sini tuh Pak ya? Apa di sini? Oh iya.
Tuh Mbak cucuan.
Yeah, maybe too much, but maybe for our age it is. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I don't have. Yeah, for work time I think too much for other. Yeah, teaching maybe more than others, I think. And yeah, for services because we don't have time for hospital.
Thank you. Similar to Dr. Pram, I slept a lot. And for work time allocation per week, a little bit different from Dr. Pram. I do a lot on services, clinical services, around 8 hours a day, so times 5, and then 40 hours a week. And then that most my activities, and I think second is research.
Yeah, I think everyone same. But for work time allocation for week, I almost all of my time in teaching because for skills lab and tutorial. Yes.
Yeah, same with me. Also, total time allocation per week is mostly for personal. Yes, and the work time allocation per week is for services, clinical service in the hospital. Yes, and then the second one is for teaching. Yeah, and the other is for other jobs. Teaching. Yes.
Thank you. Most of my time for teaching and also other work. It means I have a lot of meeting to attend and a lot of workshop like this. During this month, I attend I think more than 3 workshops. And then of course personal thing because I like to go to spa and etc. And I also already make a group for jalan-jalan, sport group for jalan-jalan.
Okay, thank you. For me, because I'm not a clinician, so I do not have time for services and other jobs. So I only have 3 kinds for my work time allocation per week. It is they are teaching, research, and other work. So and they are all in a balanced proportion for the hours. And for the overall activities, still my personal activities takes more time. It's about 40% of overall. Maybe I'm selfish, but may also take a longer time for sleep as well. It's oh no, but we not, because I'm the only woman in my family, so I do a lot of for family and household as well, and I do not have assistant in my home, so that but to be a to be a good mom. Okay, I think that's all.
Okay, for me, I can balance between personal and others activity. No, since even my sleep time is longer than others, maybe because I'm 42 hours, but like Bu Janani is 35, right? I'm 42, but I get help from my assistant here in my home, so my personal activities not a lot. And but the others is only teaching is the most activity that I have.
Okay, it is same with the other that my personal activity is take most time in my life. I sleep about 35 hours a week, not much than the others. And then I do work a lot related to research and other work related. Thank you.
I'm not sure whether my it is really my activities, but it could according to work time allocation, then teaching time is the largest, and the other job, I mean private clinical practice. Yes.
There's a lot of that also. It's kind of correlate one another. Okay, thank you very much. Saying this, I have my personal allocation is 47%. So I don't know whether it's good or not, but 53% are for working. And for that 53% for work, I think I have 54% for doing clinical service in the hospital. And then followed by 21% for research, which almost all of them consisting of making proposals actually, so not actually doing them. And then followed by teaching 14%. So that's the big picture of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe same with the others. My allocation, most of for the personal, more than 40, about 44%. percent, and for the other jobs and for teachings. And then for research, only 4%.
For research, gimana? Oh yeah, 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 28%. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is all.
Most of my time allocation per week is spent for personal. I'm wondering why everybody has that. Probably because of many components in the personal activities. While in my work time allocation, I think the biggest proportion is for teaching, which is 38%, while research and services are around the same, 19%. And yeah, I don't have a lot of other jobs. Other job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I spend my time the most for my personal activities, for 106 hours per week. And then for the time for teaching, research, and other work are evenly distributed for about 20 hours per week. Because I still have many meetings and kind of workshops and and meetings and again. So I spend the time for other work related also a lot. Yeah.
First personal, second teaching, third is other job, and then the research is small.
Okay, my allocation time for personal about 47%, and for other job 10%. For research maybe only 4%. Yeah. Then sleep 30 hour. Exercise 10 hour maybe a week.
Okay, so last we have Mbak Lia and Dek Bayu.
I think I like very much to see this table, because with this table I can see whether I'm balancing in my life or not. And my conclusion of my life is balancing but not regular. You know what you're always balancing. Yeah, try to be balanced. But the regular thing that I have always done is sleeping. I like sleeping. And the other thing, from this activity, it seems that I also have a regular activity is with the patient. I like to see the patient, and I always see the patient on regular basis. So when I have in a ward, so I always see the patient on regular basis, and and religion. Oh yeah, and salad, yeah, and salad. Salad. No, I'm talking about this. Oh yeah, and there's also other thing besides seeing the patient. Yeah, of course, for the personal thing is sleep and religion, and also religious activities. I try to be in time. So there is another nice story when I was in Germany, because I try to be solat in time, but it's not easy to find a solat place. Solat for a place. Place for solat. Yeah. And at the time, because I'm not wearing a hijab, so I go there with my friend with hijab, so she can do activities anywhere without any. It's not kelihatan. It's not obvious. But because I have my hijab with the green one, so I do the solat, and then the satpam asking me, "What are you doing?" But my friend, he is not asking my friend, but he's asking me, because maybe because she is wearing a hijab, so it's not obvious. This is about the solat things. Then the other thing is it's obvious with. But I'm not too regular person, but for the certain activity I'm regular, like seeing a patient, and seeing a patient for me is the same with teaching, because when I see the patient, I always ask my resident to go with me, so it is teaching. Thank you very much.
Surprisingly, mine is more than 168. So I'm a multitasking person.
Oh, me too.
I'm eating while sleeping. And I'm phone calling while sleeping too. But I did nothing when teaching. I spent more than 20 hours extra. So most of the time it's for personal. So actually this, I have question about email and phone calls, because most of the email activities is related to work and to research. So that's what I call multitasking. 53% of my time is I use for personal activities, and also I'm a bit surprised that I spend more on research than teaching and other things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 13 and 10% for teaching and 10% for private practice.
Okay. 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 Thank you. So we've got everyone. So was that useful? Which is useful to keep in mind, perhaps, for our faculty, that even most of our postdocs here, the allocation time for research apparently is very small, as low as 4%. Somebody mentioned like that. Okay, so that was just an exercise for you to reflect on your own time management. And if you think this is useful, you see on the other column there's the target. That's for yourself. You can do it later. Now, if you see it like that, you think, where do you want to go from there? The allocations. So you can make your own target and see how you will get there. So that's the first exercise. Now, coming to the second exercise, now this one is going to be a group exercise. Now, if you reflect on what you have, you will identify that there are some time wasters. Yeah? There are some time wasters which are quite substantial in your daily life. Yeah? So what you will do, bisa dibagi, what you will do in your groups, yeah? So you go back in your groups and you identify the top 5 time waster according to your group, yeah? And then you identify what would be the strategy to resolve those time waster.